I'm Kelly. In this video, I am going to show fellow artists on how they can take their artwork and transform it into products to sell and make more money through design. The only steps we're really going to take is artwork, rendering in Photoshop or Illustrator, and then where we can take that from there. Now, for this example, I will be turning Inktober's into a tarot deck. And the reason why I chose Inktober's for this project was because as an artist, to make money, there has to be involvement, there has to be followers. People have to be aware of your existence. So in order to kind of achieve that while working on artwork, it is valuable to participate in things such as Inktober or Mermaid or hashtags where a lot of people are scrolling and getting involved. So for this example, I am turning Inktober into a product that people were able to watch me through social media develop from the very beginning to the final product. Seeing the hard work physically is super valuable. Okay, so the first step to this process is getting your artwork together that you would like to use for your product. So here I have a flash through of all of the artwork I created with Inktober in mind. Each one of these pieces took roughly 2 hours to make, and that's very important to keep in mind when you're creating a product for when you go to price your product. Once you have your artwork gathered that you would like to use for your product, you then want to scan in your artwork. I used my regular printer that has a scanner attached to it, and then I just created a PDF version and a JPEG version. Side note, programs like Kickstart can help pay artists to create projects like this. After your artwork is created and then scanned, move on to the second process of this, and that is the rendering within Illustrator or Photoshop or even both. The rendering process is the key to the product that the artist is going to make, so it is where the magic happens. So for this example, I will be creating my artwork and transforming it into tarot decks, adding text and design work into Illustrator, and I am going to show a screen cap function on how you can do that. So let's roll. So here, open in Illustrator, I already rendered a couple of the tarot decks. I haven't added any text, I'm just getting them to the size that they need to be for the cards. So here are more of my already pre-measured rendered pieces. So now we are going to open a new document, and this is the settings that I have it as for creating a couple tarots at a time. So now that I have the new document, I'm going to go over to a already made box, and this is 2.75 by 4.75 in inches, and I'm going to copy and paste that into my new board. I'm then going to copy and paste the other box that I created. So now we're going to prepare to place an image on the board, and we're going to go to our file of the image we want, and I have all of my images as PDFs and JPEGs. So I'm going to collect the PDF version, place it, and here we see that there is an X around my image, and we want that to go away. So we're going to rasterize the image, hit OK. Now that we have the image placed, we are going to transform the size of the image and mess around with how we want the image to look with the square box placed on top of it. Knowing design is extremely important and valuable for an artist because while an artist is creating their artwork, they can keep in mind possible design errors that could happen while rendering and really allow themselves to work with their art around those errors. Here I'm placing this black box in front of my image, and I had that as a design method while inking. And now I'm going to place this clear box with the border on top of that, and it is extremely important to have that on top of all of your images and layers. So once you have your images all together, you're going to mess with how you want them to look, and then you will select all the images and then Command 7 to crop them. And now you have a 2.75 by 4.75 card. And here we have the final results of all of my tarot decks incorporated with text and artwork. At this point, it's up to the artist to decide whether they want to physically make these themselves or outsource them to be printed by a major print company. Through the process of rendering artwork, many products can be created, such as stickers, shirts, mugs, you name it. The options are limitless, and artists have much more potential having this in their back pockets. If artists knew more about the rendering process and design process, then maybe artists could potentially make more money.